Hello, I'm Beijen of Devon Duvets. Let me start with a quick question. If your nose blocks up at night or you wake with tight breathing, is it really just the season or could it be what's living in your bedding? Today, let us explore why wool can be a brilliant choice for allergy-prone sleepers, especially if you're struggling with asthma, dust mite allergy, eczema, or sensitive airways, and why at Devon Duvets we keep our wool free of chemical treatments. By the end of this short episode, you will understand why dust mites love beds, why wool makes that harder, and what you can do tonight to make your sleep environment more comfortable. And if you care about your well-being and want to sleep better naturally, this is for you. Dust mites are the real culprit for many nighttime allergies. Dust mites aren't a sign of a dirty home, they are normal, but their allergens can be a big trigger for people with asthma and allergies. Bedding is one of their favorite places to settle because it's warm, humid and full of skin flakes. Lovely, I know. Allergy UK and NHS resources are very clear that dust mites in bedding can worsen symptoms and that reducing exposure can help. What matters most for dust mites is humidity. Research has shown that keeping indoor relative humidity around or below 50% can significantly restrict mite populations and allergen levels. So the question becomes, what does your bedding do with moisture? So why is wool different? Here's where wool earns its reputation. Wool fibers can absorb and release moisture vapor in a way that helps buffer humidity changes around the body during sleep. British wool describes this moisture buffering effect as one of wool's key comfort characteristics. And Woolmark is also highlights wool's ability to move moisture away from the skin more effectively than many synthetics, supporting a drier microclimate. In plain English, wool helps manage the dampness that dust mites tend to thrive on. That's one of the reasons wool bedding is often described as more hygienic, allergy-friendlier, and you can read about wool and dust mites on the Devon Duvet site as well. Hypoallergenic doesn't mean magic, but it can mean less irritating. I want to be careful with the wording here. No bedding can promise to cure allergies, but choosing materials that are less hospitable to dust mites and that helps reduce damp buildup can absolutely support a cleaner sleep setup, especially when combined with sensible bedroom habits. NHS guidance includes practical steps like vacuum with a HEPA filter, damp dusting, decluttering and using bedding covers where appropriate. Let me tell you why Devon Duvets wool is not chemical treated. This bit matters to us. Some wool products are treated to make them machine washable at a higher temperature, often using a process commonly known in the industry as superwash, which can involve chlorine-based treatments and resin polymer coatings to stop fibers felting and shrinking. This moves or alters the fibers, which could affect its natural property. At Devon Duvets, we don't do that. Why? We want wool to behave like wool, breathable, moisture managing, temperature balancing. Coatings can change the fiber surface and how it handles moisture. We don't want to add extra chemical processes where they are not needed. We would rather keep the material as close to its natural performance as possible. It aligns with what we stand for: natural, responsible and genuinely comfortable bedding, not bedding improvement by a chemistry set. That's also why we talk about keeping our wool free of chemical treatment in our educational content. Here are some practical tips for allergy-prone sleepers. If allergies are disturbing your sleep, here are a few grounded steps. Keep humidity down. Aim for below 50% if you can by a dehumidifier, ventilation, steady heating rather than spikes. The evidence is strong that lower humidity restricts mite growth. Air the bed. Pull back the duvet for a bit in the morning to let moisture escape. Wash sheets regularly and keep the bedroom as clutter-free as possible. NHS advice is sensible here. If symptoms are persistent or severe, speak with a healthcare professional, especially if asthma is involved. So if you're sensitive, to dust mite allergens, wool can be a quietly powerful upgrade. Less damp build-up, more breathable comfort, and naturally cleaner sleep environment without relying on chemical treatments. If you like more straightforward, practical advice like this, have a look at Devon Duvets on YouTube, and you can also find our in-depth articles and guidance on devonduvets.com. Please like and subscribe, and thank you very much for listening, and sleep well.